So welcome back, guys. Now that we have our validation working, let's just go ahead and save our, our category. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get the list of all validated fields. So it will be validated equal to $request, and this will actually going to be validated. Okay, so now we have access to all the validated fields, and we can actually start using those values. So the first one, we need to actually create a variable that we actually hold an instance or an object of that category model. So this will be category, and we actually need to create a new object from that. Okay, now we've created a new object from that um, category model. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to actually do category name, and we're actually assigning the name of the category. So now we are building our category object. So this will be dollar sign validated, and we actually want to get the name from that. Okay, and this will be dollar sign category description. Okay, this will actually be dollar sign validated, and this will be description. So another way to do this is to use the request variable direct, and this will actually be description. Okay, this should be an arrow. Okay, this will actually be a description, but we actually want to use the validated version of it. So we say validated, and this will go ahead and create a category for us. So if we should go ahead and say category save. So this will actually save the category into the database. Okay, so if we should try this now, this will actually work, but then we need to actually check if the request has an image or not, so that we can actually save the image into our project. Okay, so we're not saving it to probably bucket or C3 bucket or anything, or any cloud or anything. We're actually going to save it within our project. So Laravel has this thing called storage, and we can actually save any uploaded file within there. So to actually do that, we need to check if the request called has a file called avatar. Okay, this is not a string, this is a file, and right here, if it has, we need to actually upload that file into our storage right here. So to actually do that, we just going to say avatar. So like we're creating a new this thing right here. So this will be request, and right there this will be file, because we need to actually access that file, right? Yeah, we need to do that. So the next thing we need to do is to give it a file name. So this is actually by choice, but I'm just going to say time, like I'm just trying to generate unique name for each of them. So this will be this will be dollar sign avatar, and this will be get client uh, original extension. So the original extension for the image, we're just going to get it, and right here we're going to say avatar, and we're going to say store as. Okay, we want to actually store at something, so we're going to go into public, and this will be categories, and the next thing is to actually say dollar sign file name. Okay, so this will actually put the file into our storage, and we now say $ category, which is the object that we created from the category model, and this will be avatar, and this will be $file name. And basically this is all we need to do. And let's just go ahead and create, let's go ahead and create a category without an avatar. So let's just go ahead and save that. This is actually okay, this is actually being saved right now. So it's actually being saved, but we didn't get a response because we're not returning anything. So this will be JSON response. Let's say JSON, and this will be an array. And right here we want to return like a success. But if you're working on a React project, you don't actually need to be coding in this way. You can just write a custom function that just returns value. So you can easily call the function and just give it a value, and you can see how success is equal to true. And we're just going to say message to be category created successfully. Okay, successfully. That means we've created our category, and we actually need to return the category itself that we just created. Some people prefer not to actually return the category. I don't know, because once you're sending a request to the backend or to any endpoint, you actually have access to the request on your front end. So some people don't actually send back the category, but we're just going to do it anyways. And we actually need to do a 201, and this actually means created. So status 200, it means everything, your request was processed successfully, but we've actually created something in the database. We need to actually return 201. And if you don't know about status code, just go ahead and read it online. So this is all we need to do. If we should try and create this again, we should get an error. All right, we got an error which says category name has been taken. So let's just call this houses. So let's go ahead and create this. All right, so we've created this category successful without an avatar. So let's just go ahead and create it with a picture right now. So let's just do one thing. Let me see. So what you actually need to do is come to form data, and right here we're just going to say avatar, and we're just going to give it a name of avatar. Okay, and right here where you see text, let's change it to file, and we can go ahead and select the image right here. So I'm just going to select this image, simple image, because that's the only image I have on my PC. So let's go ahead and save this and take this. Let's send it, and let's see. Category name is required. Category description is required. That's true, because we're not actually giving this a category name, because we've turned it off from raw. We are now using form data, so we actually need to give it a name. Let's just call this universities. I don't know what I'm doing. Universities, and this will be description. This could be list of universities. So all we can do is send this right now. Let's send it with the avatar. So let's send that and see. All right, now we've created the universities as the category, and you can see the avatar now as a value. And if we should go ahead and see this, let's just go ahead and take this in our storage. Let's say app public, that's the folder, this is the category, and this is the uploaded image right here. Okay, so that's it. So we have that right now. That works perfect, and Yeah, so what we can do is to confirm that actually works. Let's just go ahead and save the request. Let's just save that. And now that we have the image, what we can do is we can actually confirm this works. And to actually do that, we can also do one thing in our model, in our category model. We can do one thing because this basically returning this is basically returning the name of the file. We actually need it to return a link as an image. So what we can do is we can go into our model, and right here we can just write a basic function. We can just say public function. Okay, this is actually going to be like a getter method. So this will be get avatar, which is the feed name. Just going to say get avatar attribute. Right now we're going to give this a value, which is the avatar, so this is how the getter function attribute works. So if you're getting a particular collection from the database or from Eloquent, you can actually modify what each feed will look like. So if I should say basically if I should just try and modify what the name will look like, let's just say get avatar get name attribute this time, because we're actually targeting the name feed from the collection. This will be $name, and we can basically choose to return anything right here. Okay, we can just call this name, random values. I don't know. So if we should go ahead and try to uh, let's say get all the categories. Let's just try this again. You can see we actually every name we actually have that value, because that's what we returning. So you can choose to modify those data as they are coming from the database. So that's basically what we're going to do right now. So we're going to return. We want to say if avatar is true, it will always be true unless you did something wrong. So we want to go into the asset. We want to say storage, because we actually want to go into the storage, and the next thing we can do is categories. So categories. So if you notice in our storage, we have categories right here. Okay, so that's just basically what we are targeting. So what we can now do is to give it the avatar itself, because that's the name. We actually save the name in our database. So if that is not true, we're just going to return null. That's all. So if we should go ahead and try this again, so you can see the avatar is null. Let's just see the one we just created. So this return a link from it actually get the link from the let's see, from the route itself. So if you host the application in a domain, it's actually going to get the domain name and actually put it. So for this, you can see we try to preview the image, but we're getting not found, which is 404. And to actually do this is we need to actually create a link between our app and our storage. Okay, so to actually do this, we go into configure and you go into the storage. Let's see, is it storage? Let's see. Okay, you go into the file system. So for the app, we want to make the root. You can see the app is actually app slash public. So the reason why it's app slash public is if you go into the storage, you can see app right here, and within this public we actually want to go into this folder and actually check them. So these settings looks okay, but if you have it differently, you can just go ahead and set it, make sure it corresponds with the directory the for the folder. So to actually make sure that's visible, we can just cn to backend, and we're just going to say php artisan storage, and this will be link. Okay, so let's press that and see. Now you can see it has been linked to the directory, and if we should go ahead and refresh, we should see the file. We're still getting an error. That's because we're not actually putting a forward slash to this. So let's put this, you can see the file right here. So let's try to fix that error, and if we go into the model, and you can see where we actually have the error. So if we should go ahead and see the IDs, the ID for this is actually 8. So let's go into the show and let's see, let's just put 8 to this. Yeah, so let's just try and preview the image right now, so you can see the image right here. So this actually works fine, and the next thing we actually need to do is to actually create the update method, which we'll be doing in the next video. So if you're new here, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Okay, so let's just save that.